Hey guys, Crystal with 360 Fitness, back with your workout of the day. As always, we're gonna get you started with your warm-up. So we're gonna start with front and side leg swings. So just to kind of get our hips, lower body warmed up. So I have the dowel, but you can hold on to a chair or a wall. Basically, you're just gonna need something to support you so you don't fall over as you're doing these. And all we're gonna do is 10 leg swings each. So we're gonna start fairly slow. And with each swing, try to maybe just get a little bit higher. Fairly straight legs, guys, and kicking back through your hip. And then up as high as we can. So 10 there. And then we're gonna do 10 side ones. So that same leg that we just did, we're gonna cross in front and then swing out to the side. So a little bit of that rotation so our toes point up to the roof as we swing, trying to get a little bit higher each time. Perfect. And then we'll switch over to that other side. So straight front legs, guys, toes pointing up. Make sure you're getting back, squeeze the butt cheek, and then getting up as high as you can. Just a nice little stretch and warm up. And then we'll go into those side ones again. So cross in front and then out to the side. Just for 10 of these, guys. And then we're gonna do very similar down onto the ground. It's a lying leg rotation. So again, for those hips, but also for our lower back to warm up. So I'll turn to the side for you guys. So I'm just gonna have my arms reached out to the side and I'm alternating, crossing over my legs. So my shoulders are trying to stay planted. So my upper body's fairly non-changing, not moving. We're rotating through our hips and our spine. So the straighter the legs and the higher you kick, the more intense this is gonna be. But if you need, you can just keep that knee bent like so and rotate those hips back and forth. So straighter leg and reaching higher will make that more intense for you. Okay, let's just do one more each side. Beautiful. Okay, and then the last one in this warm-up is for our hamstrings. They're called inchworms. So we're gonna hinge at our hips, get down to the ground, and then we're gonna continue to walk our hands out in front of us until we're in this nice plank position. And then I walk my toes, little teeny tiny steps as far as I can into my hands, and then come up through a stretch. So that's one. We got 5 more of those. So I'll do one for this from the side for you guys. Hinge, fairly straight legs, guys. And then I'm gonna walk my hands out till that plank position. Okay, and then fairly straight legs. It's like somebody's pulling me up from my butt cheeks. Walking tiptoe by tiptoe into my hands, come up tall. Okay, so that's just really getting the hamstrings warmed up. 3 more for me, guys. As you can maybe guess with this warm-up, it's gonna be a heavy leg day with all this hip, hamstring, warm-up mobility. So please take care that you actually get this good warm-up and a good stretch. because we're going to be asking a lot of some different muscles today. Last one here, guys. Walk it all the way out to the plank. Pull up from the hips. Get those hips nice and high. Come up tall. All right, okay guys, so today's workout is gonna be a little bit different. We're gonna slow it down a little bit. I want you to focus a little bit more on what we should be feeling. There's gonna be a lot more balance incorporated, so you're still gonna get a great workout. You'll probably find some muscles that you didn't even know you had, but a little bit more, less through the breathing, a little bit more focus on that mind-muscle connection to what we're supposed to be working, what we're supposed to be feeling, and getting into some discrepancies between our left and right sides, because we tend to have a dominant side, and then we tend to compensate, which can create injuries or poor posture. So that's what we're focusing on today, guys. So we're gonna go through this workout for 3 full rounds. We're gonna do 10 reps of every single exercise. So the first one we're gonna start off with is a single leg squat. So whether you have a chair, bench, couch, the higher the surface, the easier it's gonna be. Okay, so we're just going to have one leg in the air. We're gonna drive through our heels and just come up from a squatted seated position. All right. So the goal isn't speed here, it's control. So take your deep breath at the bottom. Take it, hold it into your belly, tighten up your abs. That's gonna help with the balance. And then once you're at the top of the movement, tuck and squeeze your bum underneath you. We're just gonna do 2 more here. And up tall, make sure you stand all the way up, squeeze. If that seems impossible for you guys, maybe a higher bench, or maybe you grab onto something to help pull you up, right? So just a little push off the stick can help. Maybe you have a band or a towel that you can wrap around and you can help pull yourself up. But as best you can, try to keep that leg elevated the entire time. And if you really need, just give it a little push off, little help. But the focus is we're really trying to make that one leg work. Last one here, guys. And as you've probably found, you definitely have a weaker side from that left to right side. Next up, we have Dumbbell Flies. So maybe soup cans, guys. If you have dumbbells, great. These guys don't have to be super heavy. So I'm gonna do them from the bench on this round. And on the next one, I'll do them from the floor for those of you that don't have a bench. So shrug those shoulder blades underneath you guys, and then it's a slight elbow bend. Plant your feet, squeeze your abs and your glutes tight, and we come out fairly straight to the sides, and then back around in a circular motion. So puff the chest up, let the shoulder blades come together, and we're coming nice and wide with the weights. And our elbows are staying at the same angle the entire time, so they're not breaking and pushing. So wide, and then it's like you're trying to hug a beach ball. Puff the chest up. Last one here. Beautiful. Bring them down safely to your sides with your elbows tucked in. You can put them down and then sit up. Next up, we have a single leg deadlift. So lots of options for this one too, guys. So if you, even just body weight might be lots on this one, especially if you're focused on what you should be using, but I'll have our dumbbell. So we're gonna start on our left leg here. So all of my weight's on my left, my knee is slightly bent, and I'm just going to hinge forward at my waist, same as I would do for a normal deadlift, right? just I'm solely balanced on my left leg. So as I hinge forward, that other leg comes straight back. So my weight's on my heel. I feel a good stretch through my hamstring and my glute, and my back is nice and flat. And then I'm gonna squeeze this left butt cheek to bring me up, and just a little tap for balance and back down. So the things we wanna watch for here, guys, is the rotation. We don't wanna open this hip to the side. Okay, we want both hips facing the ground, both shoulders facing the ground, and no arching through the back. We're just gonna do one more here on this leg, and then we're gonna switch sides. So if that's too challenging, we can just leave the weight and just focus on our balance. Sometimes having your arms out to the side into this airplane, right? More balance. So again, I'm focused on my hips facing the floor. Squeeze this glute to bring you up. So we're not just whipping our head up to bring us up. We want to focus that it's our glutes trying to bring us back around. So it should be the back side of our legs, weights on the heel. We're just gonna do two more here. Last one. And yeah, if you need that balance, maybe coming down to tap here, guys, try not to push off of it. Next up, we have a single arm dumbbell row. So I'm going to use the bench, same arm, same leg. So making sure you shrug that shoulder down and back and drive the elbow up. I have a fairly wide stance with this outer leg just to give me some more balance. Just two more. And then we're gonna switch sides. So same arm, same leg always. Shrug the shoulder down. And we're trying to work those muscles between the shoulder blades. So that's your focus, guys. As you drive that elbow up, you're trying to squeeze those shoulder blade muscles together. Last one here. Good. Then we're gonna go into 10 Bulgarian squats, split squats per side. So we're gonna have this toe resting basically on a stair, on a chair, whatever you have. It's just gonna be elevated. Make sure you take a little bit of a pop out in front of you, and then we sit back on our heel. So we don't wanna be leaning forward into this one, okay? So sit back on your heel, and then we drop into this nice 90 degree always with my front leg. So make sure your toes and your knees, hips, everything's facing forward, guys. We're gonna do two more on this side. Those should burn, okay? And then flip that other leg back. Drop it down. So if this, again, is way too challenging, maybe you just do stationary lunges with both feet on the ground. Two more here. Perfect. And then the last one in this round, guys, is we're gonna go for a suitcase carry. So we're gonna have hopefully something fairly substantial for a weight. Laundry detergent, fill up a backpack full of stuff, but enough that it's going to want to pull you to that one side. So the entire goal of this one, guys, is to work on our posture. As my weight's pulling me this way, I really have to tighten up through this core and glute hip area to counteract that. So we're really just gonna go for a walk there and back, meet back here, and then switch arms. So again, nothing fast, just being super mindful, okay? Here we go, go for a walk. Make sure your shoulders are shrugged back, right? Nice and smooth. There should be no tilt in your upper body. All right, perfect. Let's switch hands and do that one more time. So shoulders down. Make sure you're walking in a straight line as well. Lots of times you'll start to find that you veer off to whatever hand has the weights. Every time you take in the groceries, this is what I want you guys to think of, is holding that posture and your core straight. Perfect. So grab a quick drink of water if you guys want. That's our first round. We have 2 more. All right, so we're gonna go back to those single leg squats. So again, the focus should be glutes, quads, hamstrings. I want you guys thinking of these muscles as we go. Okay, so big breath, tighten up the abs, stand all the way up tall. Right, if you need to tap down, that's totally fine. If you need to hold on to a wall, if you need a band to help pull you up, all is good. Maybe this is way too challenging and you're just gonna do squats. Last one here. But again, the idea is we always have one leg stronger than the other, and we're really trying to balance that out. For me, it's definitely my left leg that's weaker. Can feel a little bit more wobble. Things don't fire quite as quickly or as strongly. Last one here, guys. All right, this time I'm gonna do it on the floor, those dumbbell flies, so you guys know what that looks like. So again, your smaller dumbbells or your soup cans for this one, you're gonna be flat on the back. Start with your weights above you. And this might be a safer version too, guys, if you don't have, if you're worried about the movement, because we're just coming down to the ground, tapping our elbows. My hands don't touch because I'm in that slightly bent elbow position the whole time. And then it's like you're hugging the beach ball. So we're never breaking at the elbows. We're moving solely from our shoulder joints. Puff the chest up, squeeze around in a circle. We're just gonna do one more here. Beautiful. All right, we're into those single leg deadlifts again. So I'm gonna give you one more modification this time, guys, because this one is super challenging, especially for your balance. And if you find that you're focused more on your balance rather than the muscles actually working, try it this way. So all my weight is still on my left leg right now, but this foot's gonna be tapped down for balance the whole time, okay? So then I'm hinging here, all the weight still on the left, and I'm really focusing on that left glute squeezing to pull me up. So it's more about mindfulness that I'm still just using my left leg. So still sit back on the heel, push your bum back to the wall behind you. Get that big stretch through your glute and your hamstring. and then really try to squeeze and drive the hips forward to pull you up. 2 left here. Perfect. And then we're going to switch legs. So all my weight is shifted to my right leg. The left leg slightly back, touching the ground just for balance. And right is just at our hips that we're bending. We're not bending at our waist. So right at those hip joints, push the hip back, stretch through here, squeeze the bum, bring it back up. Because I'd rather you guys be able to focus on what muscles you're firing than falling all over the place and just getting frustrated. We can work up to more of those balance ones later after as you practice. Last one here. Beautiful. Then we're going to go into our dumbbell rows. Giving you guys all the angles today. So same arm, same leg. Shrug that shoulder down and back. And squeezing the shoulder blade. Always under control. Last one here. Other side, so same arm, same leg. And drive that elbow. Make sure you guys are pushing your belly and your chest out towards the bench. We got 3 to go here. 3, 2, last one. Beautiful. So then we have our Bulgarian split squats. So I'll give you guys the other angle this time. So the toes up on the bench, hop out. So my leg is actually in front of my body and then dropping down into the lunge. So notice that my front heel is never coming off the ground, guys. I'm weighted through my heel. And my torso stays upright. Last one. And then we're switching. So 90 degrees here, 90 degrees at that knee. And we're pushing off this leg. This is the glute, this is the leg that's working. The back leg's just there for some balance. Last one. Those are hard, guys. If you feel like you need more though, you can always grab a pair of dumbbells and hold beside you as you do those. Okay, next up we got those suitcase carries. So grab your weight and we're gonna go for a walk. So there and back, and then we'll switch sides. So shoulders pull down and back as we walk. Nice straight line, guys. Don't let that weight pull you around or make you unstable. Good. Let's switch sides. Same thing. So whatever side you're holding the weight in, make sure your upper body isn't leaning the opposite way to compensate. It should be your abs tightening up to withstand that imbalanced weight. Perfect. That's round 2, guys. Let's do one more. Grab your drink of water and we'll go through that last round. Hopefully it's kind of eye-opening. You guys are learning some stuff about yourselves, where maybe some weaknesses are. We're only as strong as our weakest link. So when you find those weaknesses, work on them. Usually it's funner to work on the stuff that we're good at, but you're gonna get a lot more out of the stuff if you focus on what you actually are struggling with. So single leg squats to start, guys. So big breath into the belly, coming up tall. This is our last round. Hopefully you guys have like found your balance, found your center on these ones now. I promise they do get easier. You might find like this first time you do them, you can't even get off that seat. The second time you go to do them, you pop right up. Last one here. And it's not so much that your muscles are weak. Your brain doesn't know how to fire those muscles maybe. Just like learning any new sport. You don't have the coordination. Your brain has to learn how to do these things. So that's why it's so important as we're going through, guys. I want you to think, what muscles need to fire? That mind-muscle connection, super important. Last one. Good. And then we're gonna do our dumbbell flies. So starting up at the top, make sure those shoulder blades are tucked down and together. Coming out to the sides nice and wide. And then squeeze, hug that beach ball. Nice big circular motion. Make sure we're breathing. Breathe in as we come down. Breathe out as we're coming back together. Last one here. Perfect. All right, we got those single leg deadlifts. So whatever you choose to do, guys, right? So you could have this one, you could have the weight in front of you, or you could do the split stance one where you're balanced the entire time with your other foot. Or a mixture of all of them. Just remember to sit back on the heels, push your hips way back like they're trying to touch the wall behind you. 2 more on this side. And then we're gonna switch legs. Get those hamstrings and the booty working. Make sure you're staring just in front of you. So we're not looking at our toes. You're looking just slightly out in front of you. All right, and then we're gonna go into our dumbbell rows, guys. So nice wide with that leg on the ground for balance. And driving through the shoulder blade. Last one. And switching sides. Same arm, same leg on the bench. Shrug that shoulder down. Puff the chest out. Four to go. 4, 3, 2. Last one, guys. Beautiful. Oh, and then those Bulgarian splits, everybody's favorite. So foot up on the bench or chair, take a hop out, right? Knees and toes, hips, everything's facing forward. And if you have anything left in those legs, guys, maybe we add in a couple hops. 3, 2, and 1. Switch it up, hop out, drop it down. Hopefully the legs are feeling it. They should be by now. Let's give those last 3 those little hops if you got anything in you guys. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. All right, last one is the suitcase carry, guys. You're almost there. Grab your weight, go for a little walk. All right, there and back in the same hand. So check in with yourself. Are my shoulders pulled down and back? Am I leaning to one side? Can I feel my abs engaged? Let's switch hands. Do one more lap, guys. So looking just slightly out in front of you, making sure you're walking that nice straight path. Everything nice and tight to finish strong. Beautiful. Great job, guys. I know that was a little bit different. Sometimes those ones can be frustrating because they're challenging, but work at them. I promise they're gonna help you in the long run. All right, you guys know this is my favorite part for sure, always, is the stretching afterwards. So we really worked into those glutes today, so that's what we're gonna target first in our pigeon position. Which is a pretty challenging stretch and pose. So I'll start off with a super easy version. So we're just gonna have both legs kind of at the 90-degree, and our target would be this right glute. And then just a slight lean forward. If you're feeling it through your glute and your outer hip here, great. If you need something a little bit more challenging, we'll move into full pigeon. So this leg slides back behind us, right? So I'm at a 90-degree here, my leg straight out behind us, and I just gradually sink down, okay? So upright's gonna be easier, lots of pressure through this outer glute and hip. You might wanna put like a pillow or a bolster under there to help if it's pretty intense. And then remember to breathe. Like I said, this is a pretty intense stretch. We tend to clench when we're uncomfortable, so check in right now. Take a couple big deep breaths. Really breathe in from your belly. 5 seconds. Nice slow inhale. Hold at the top. And then a slow exhale, and you're gonna try to sink lower or deeper into that stretch. So you might find coming over to this side, rotating. Again, whatever feels best for you guys, no right or wrong as long as there's no pain. All right, let's go into the other side. So kind of a 90-degree with the legs. So this again might be enough here. Otherwise we push that other leg straight out to the back. This is probably actually one of my favorites. The glutes are usually super tight. They're one of the biggest muscles in our body. They can be the biggest activators. They can also cause a lot of tension and a lot of distress in our body when they're too tight. So it's good to get deep into those hips. So one more big full breath for me, guys. A 5-second inhale. Right from your belly, kind of hold at the top. Nice, slow exhale, and relax. All right, the next one we're gonna go into is a side bend. So it doesn't matter which leg you guys wanna start on. We're gonna tuck one leg in and one leg kind of out to the side. And then we're going to bend to the side. So if it's my right leg that's out, my right arm comes kind of inside, and then I'm going to reach for the sky. So we're looking for the stretch all down this side. So make sure we're not collapsing forward. I want my chest, and I'm trying to actually roll backwards. The more I reach towards my toes, the more intense it's going to be. So you might obviously be getting a stretch through this hamstring and back of your leg as well as your inner thigh, and a main focus through that side. So reach actively, not as hard as you can, but you're making an active motion to stretch and reach, and then breathe. Try to expand every single rib on that side. Big breath in. As you exhale, you try and reach for that toe a little bit farther. Just one more big breath for me, guys. Beautiful. Come out slow. Squeeze those ribs back together one by one. And then we'll go into the other side. Might do this one more from the side view for you guys. So legs stretched out, and then we're just going to reach. I'm in a fairly straight line. Everything's pointing in the same direction there, not folding. Chest up, reach for the sky, and then reach over towards your toes. Big breath through the side of the rib cage, guys. Expand the ribs one by one. And every exhale, you might sink lower and deeper, reach farther for those toes. Last breath here. Beautiful. Come out nice and slow. And then the last one we have for you guys is a hamstring stretch after all those single leg deadlifts. So I like to come up onto one knee, and then you're gonna just stick your foot out in front of you with your toes pointing up. Okay, so super important that your heel's reaching away and your toes are pointing up, almost pulled back towards you. So my knee is nice and locked, and this might be lots. You might need something to hold on to for balance as well. But if you're not quite feeling the stretch here yet, then we're gonna fold forward. Okay, so nice straight knee. If you want to put just a slight amount of pressure to push down at that knee, that's okay, but we're not pushing with all our might. Should feel nice stretch through the backs of the knees, our hamstrings, our calves. Make sure those toes are pulled upright, guys. If we're pointing down, you're gonna miss a lot of the stretch through the calves and the back and the knee. Okay. This is a tough one. I know they got worked hard today. Just a couple more big breaths for me. You can play with the rotation of your foot a little bit. Make sure their toes are always up, but play with that a little bit. Last big breath here for me, guys. Try and sit this back bum cheek down. Beautiful. Let's switch legs. Okay. So I'm sitting back on this one, stretched out in front of me, toes up. My knees locked. I can put a slight pressure here maybe. I can maybe get down to the ground, whatever feels comfortable, but there's no pain. Just a slight discomfort, and you feel that amazing stretch. So try and maybe push this bum down. Try imagine somebody's pulling the back of your knee towards the ground. We always want to be slightly active in our stretches. We're not forcing them, but we're putting just a little bit of effort into them, being mindful. What muscles do we want to stretch? And the breathing. Big breath in for me, guys. As we exhale, maybe a little pressure on that quad to sink deeper into it, or you try and sink your bum a little lower. Just one more breath for me. Beautiful job, guys. Really crushed it today. I know that was hard. Keep moving today, because those new muscles that you maybe discovered will seize up on you and you might be a little debilitated tomorrow. So keep moving, get your water into you, get your protein into you, and have a really wonderful rest of your day.